another episode of Routes Through Pokemon Adventures. I'm Ruby.
And I'm Shaylock.
And together we are a father-daughter duo going on Pokemon adventure through all the video games. Well, almost. A lot. The Pokemon Adventures manga and the Pokemon anime. And this week we'll be covering 7 episodes of the anime. 1 will be a Chronicles episode and 3 chapters of the manga from volume 16. But before we get started, let's catch up on what we've been doing.
Well, our well froze again.
Yay. Well, actually, a little bit of a yay for me because I had to go up there, get the heater out. It wasn't working. Kind of had to go potty, but we couldn't flush the toilets. But then I got to go to an overnight birthday party, so I left y'all.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so we moved the cement cover and we put a space heater in there.
Yeah.
But that didn't get it warm enough after a few hours. So then my wife picked up a torpedo heater for ourselves this time with the propane. And that way we can help out in the future with ourselves and other people as well, instead of just borrowing again.
The neighborhood will be like, hey, we're new to the neighborhood. Does anybody have a heater to unfreeze our well? 4 different people. Here, you can borrow ours.
Yep. So we got it down there, but even after an hour of that, it didn't unfreeze yet. So that wasn't great. And then we adjusted it again, and all of a sudden we had water. And then we were going to leave it up there for like another half hour, but instead after like 10 minutes I went back up, and the whole cistern was filling up with water because one of the hoses melted.
I bet you were like, oh, that's fine. We'll fix it quick.
Nope. Fortunately, my brother-in-law lives nearby, and he's dealt with this kind of stuff before and knew what to do.
Really helpful.
He's so helpful. So he came in. We got the well shut off after we had water. We filled up some stuff with water, so in case we weren't going to have water for a while. And that hose apparently was the one that went to another area that we barely get water out of anyway, like a different building. And so he ended up splicing things in, so we just got rid of that hose completely.
You said another building that we don't use anyway.
We don't.
It sounded so much like we just have a few houses.
No, a building where we don't use water. It's a barn.
It really sounded like just another one. We just got a few houses around in the yard.
No. Anyway, the water isn't used there very often. It's usually frozen at the end of that one anyway, so it's just... So, he got in there, helped us out. It took a couple hours, but he spliced in another piece that we had in the shop, which now has no water, which is fine. And we're so grateful for it, so we have running water and stuff again. But yeah, that was a whole thing, because if we couldn't unfreeze it, the next thing we were going to have to do, we were going to shut everything off, and where the pipe comes out from the well into the cistern is all like kind of caved in with stuff, so we would have to dig that out and get to the metal part of the pipe to like heat that area up. And it's supposedly got roots digging under there that are for the poison ivy, which I don't know what happens to poison ivy roots in the winter. I don't know if they're still active or not, so it was not going to be a fun experience.
Well, when you cut them open, there
could
definitely be some juices. And our uncle, my uncle, who came over, he says he's like immune to poison ivy and stuff, but he said he got poison ivy in there.
The last time he was messing around in there, yeah.
And like, just saying, if I were to do it, I'm not like super susceptible, but I am susceptible, especially off another person randomly.
Yeah.
But so
I don't think I've ever had poison ivy, or at least not anything extreme. Like maybe a small patch that went away at the most, because I'm not very susceptible either. But that means I was gonna have to be the one to go in there. I was gonna get too
susceptible sister.
Yeah, and so that means I was gonna be probably going to experience poison ivy for the first time in my life, really, and I was not excited about it.
It's annoying, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Sure. So yeah, that was our big fun this last week, really.
Well, then the next morning, what did you get to do with all the water in the well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, of course, there was a bunch of water in the well, and it was going to freeze up in there, which would cause problems in the cistern. Yes, not the well. So, as a group, without Ruby, because she was still at her friend's place for a birthday party, we took the top back off, which is actually one of the worst parts, is trying to get that top on and off.
It's so stressful getting it on and off about it possibly falling in.
Yeah.
If it angles
right. That doesn't stress me out because I don't see that happening. But we had to bucket brigade a bunch of water out, and all the water created certain areas that were super thick, deepish mud. So I was geared up pretty good, and I still almost got stuck in there. I was worried I was going to have to leave my pants behind for a second. Because the boots were all taped up with the garbage bags on my pants.
You said when you got on the ladder, though, because it's like 12 feet deep. It's not like, or 6 or 12, I can't remember.
It's not 12 feet deep.
Someone said like 6.
Yeah, it's probably more like 6.
Between 6 and 12. Maybe it's like 6 or 7.
6, 7.
6, 7.
Rokunana.
Rokunana. But you said when you got on it, it just like started going.
Yeah,
down.
the ladder
no
just
climbing
sunk.
necessary.
Actually, one of the hardest parts, because the bucketing actually didn't take that long and actually worked out really good. Except there's water in the mud, but we weren't going to scoop the mud out. And it was all away from where the pipes are anyway. But getting the ladder pack out, it took me, your mom, and your oldest brother Flame to work together hard, shifting it back and forth, pulling to finally dislodge it from the mud.
Just leave it there.
Was tempted.
Oh no, the little kids.
No, and we had to cover up the hole, yeah. So, yeah, that was fun, but things are back to normal. Ish. We're planning on getting a new well in the spring, summertime, so.
Hopefully.
We're hoping. That'll fix problems. But yeah, that was our big event this week.
And I got to skip out on most of it.
Lucky you.
All right, now that we've caught up on what we've been doing, let's jump into some manga. Are we doing the manga first or the anime? Okay. Starting with Volume 16, Chapter 192, Stick This in Your Craw, Crawdaunt 1.
All right, so we left off with, Sapphire finishing her gym battle. We might have left off with Ruby getting fished out of the water. I don't remember, but those all happened in like the last chapter or so. Anyway, Roxanne rushes to catch up with Sapphire because she didn't get a chance to tell her about the badges and like how they work and stuff. Sapphire wants to hurry to the next gym, and Roxanne says they're across the mountains and far away, and Sapphire explains she's actually going to Dewford across the sea, and whistles for her dad's whale lord to take her. And the whole time, like, she's perched up on top of a lamppost, like some kind of animal, because she still acts like a Pokemon a lot.
Yeah.
Sapphire's kind of strange. I mean, I like her, but she's strange. Then, on a boat called the Big Catch, Ruby wakes up and is quite distraught that his clothes are muddy and his other clothes are wrinkled.
Oh, yeah, poor baby.
He checks on his Pokemon and assumes Rara protected Wally like he told it to. Then Briney explains to Ruby that it was Peeko that found Ruby in the water. It turns out Briney has heard that an ancient Pokemon has been showing up in the seas. The pictures indicate Relicanth, which is also the ancient Pokemon in the ruins from the anime episode. Those weird, ugly-looking fish. Remember? We saw them in the anime with those secret ruins.
Before he explains it, Ruby gets seasick.
Yeah.
Sapphire.
No, Ruby.
Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby's the boy. Yes, he does get seasick.
Ah.
Ah. So, like I said, the fish is kind of ugly. And...
No, it's not that ugly, actually.
Well, I think it's kind of ugly. Like, I agree. And Ruby thinks it's very unattractive, which is what matters to him. But yeah, I think Briney says it's like one of the few Pokemon in the sea that he hasn't seen yet, so that's why he's looking for him. So it's not just Ruby that's seasick, Skitty is as well. In his efforts to find the Pokemon, Briney catches some whalmer, I think that's what they were, and he explains he has his wish cache below in the water to detect earthquakes that have been happening a lot lately. Then Briney gets another Pokemon on the line, and it turns out to be a Crawdaunt that tosses Briney into the sea. Briney is confused why a river/pond Pokemon is out in the sea, and Ruby is nervous because Crawdaunt threw a big guy like Briney like a ragdoll, and it is now coming for him. I also thought this was interesting because there was other I think some of the trainers in the game, like the fishermen and stuff, or maybe even some NPCs, asked us what we prefer about, like, do you like river Pokemon more or like sea Pokemon and stuff like that? So there is actually a difference of the type of Pokemon you can find if it's the sea or if it's in like a river or something.
Interesting.
And I wonder if that correlates in the game too if you're fishing.
Probably.
I'm going to guess, but I think it's interesting.
For sure.
But that's the end of that chapter.
So then we go to Stick This in Your Crawdaunt 2.
With Briney out and danger on board, Ruby thinks he can risk a little action since no one is watching. He brings out Skitty, and next thing we know, the Crawdaunt is tied up, Peeko is patched up and had a makeover, a creepy, weird-looking makeover, and Briney wakes up confused about what must have happened. Ruby lies about it all, and Briney starts piecing together clues. But he's
Isn't really that bad.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
No, it's not. I barely noticed the difference actually at first.
Anyway, Briney starts piecing together clues of what really did happen, even though Ruby lies about it. Because basically Ruby took on the battle and took care of things, right? We just didn't see it again. But Briney's a seafarer and won't pry into others' secrets, so he just lets it go. Then they approach Dewford Town, and he tells Ruby that after dropping him off there, he's going back out to find Relicanth. Sapphire arrives at Dewford, and the Whale Lord sneezes, causing a big wave that a guy and his Makuhita use to surf. When Sapphire apologizes, the guy says it was good training for his Makuhita to learn the soft and flexible style. And he spots Sapphire's gym badge and lets her know he is her opponent in Dewford, because this is Brawny.
Brawny? I thought it was Brawly.
Oh, sorry, Brawly. Thank you.
And he has Makuhita just like our gym leader did.
Correct. But Sapphire has to challenge him soon, because he'll be leaving to do something later the next day. Then Sapphire thinks about that on her way to the dock, where she runs into Ruby getting off Briney's boat. They both are surprised to see each other, and we find out there are only 70 days left for their bet.
Now, for the last chapter today, Guile from Mawile.
After getting on one another's nerves, both Ruby and Sapphire are annoyed they're both headed to Granite Cave. Fortunately, there's a fork in the road, and they go their separate directions. It turns out, back on the boat, Briney showed Ruby some pictures of Pokemon. They were water types, which included Melodic, a beautiful Pokemon. So Ruby is there, hoping to find it. And Melodic is a very pretty-looking Pokemon. But I think it's a fun plot for Ruby in this story, because if he wants to get such a pretty Pokemon, he'll need the ugly fish Phoebus. Because Phoebus is what evolves into Melodic. And Phoebus looks gross, too. He's not as...
Not necessarily. You can catch evolved type.
Maybe.
He'll probably have to catch the weird fish, though.
Yeah, and I just think that's cool for his, like, plot line. Because he wants the beautiful Pokemon, but he has to see through the ugliness to get there. Mm-hmm. It's a good lesson. He finds Zubat, Geodude, neither of which he likes, but then Mawile show up, and they're cute. Until one of them tries to snap off his face, and one runs off with Nana, the Poochyena.
Like, between his claws, it's just like, bye!
Yep. Between its, like, not claws, it's the mouth thing. Jaws, I guess. I'm just saying. Anyway. He's rescued by someone who explains that Mawile are deceivers. Then, in the midst... Oh, that's why you like Mawile. They're deceivers.
Do I deceive?
You like your deception. You're a deceptive individual.
Oh.
Very sinister.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, then, in the midst of the chaos, it seems that Nana and Kiki, so Poochyena and Skitty, are going to evolve. The rescuer introduces himself as Steven, and he offers to help out in dealing with the Mawile. To be continued.
Bum, bum, bum. All right, now that we're done with the manga, it's time to move on to the anime. Starting with episode 293, season 6, episode 17, Stairway to Devon, or Devon Corporation Aqua Dan no Kage, or Devon Corporation Shadow of Team Aqua.
All right, so now that Ash has a badge, he needs to know where the next one is, and it turns out to be on a place called Dewford Island. But there's 2 hours until the next ferry, and so Brock wants to sightsee, and they all agree to explore the town on their own until the ferry. Then Max spills his drink on the Pokenav, and so he runs off to see what he can do before his sister finds out. Because he's worried she's going to beat him up or hurt him because he ruined her Pokenav, and that's the whole plot here, which doesn't make any sense. That part of it doesn't.
Didn't, his parents give it to him right before they left or something?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense that this is the reasoning because it was never May's Pokenav. Anyway, Pokenav is part of the plot, and so is the Devon Corporation and the President, which is all kind of, like the game. So Max discovers a man showing off new inventions to a group of kids. After a failed demonstration of this really bizarre can opener that looks like a baby or something, I don't know, it was weird. The guy spots Max and asks him about his issue because he can see Max is down. When Max explains, the guy tells him the kid should go to the Devon Corporation because they can fix anything. He claims to work there as an inventor, but when a car pulls up and its driver spots the guy, this guy makes a run for it. Back at the Pokemon Center, everyone reunites, except Max, so they're going to miss their ferry. When May hears that, she pops back up and goes out to shop even more because that's what she was doing before already, and she just loves to shop. She's a shopaholic. Has to go get more swimming suits. Team Rocket arrive at the Devon Corporation, and so they want to steal all the booty that must be in there. Inside, Max is told that they don't handle repairs there, but then Max hides behind a pillar and overhears Officer Jenny talking to the inventor guy who was now right beside the guy that was chasing him earlier. Jenny says there is supposedly someone planning on sneaking into Devon to steal from them. The inventor notices Max and sneaks up behind him, and then decides to give Max a tour. Also, it was around there where I realized that the Devon Corporation inventor guy that's giving him a tour is once again another voice by Tracy. He sounds different, but not completely. He talks the same way. So as they're going for this tour, they go to the lab, and in there, Max learns that the inventor is actually the president, and he keeps getting in trouble with his assistant, which was the guy chasing him. Because apparently the president isn't allowed to just go out and wander.
Which is kind of funny. It's like, wait, is he actually part of the Devon Corporation? But then he's the president.
He's not just part of it. He's the president. He was in trouble with his assistant. So then, while the nav is possibly getting fixed in the lab, the president gives Max a tour of some of the inventions they're working on, which are also the same things that are mentioned in the game, like to be able to tell what Pokemon are dreaming of, or an ability to talk to Pokemon. Like when we go down to the next level in the game, they're all telling us these things. And they all say, I haven't got it figured out yet. And sure enough, Max is like, oh yeah, can you show me? And he's like, well, it's not working yet. Or we haven't figured it out yet.
He did that on every single one.
Every single one. So that was funny. Except for one that does work, or is almost going to work or something, and that's to resurrect fossil Pokemon.
That's the most interesting one. It doesn't work yet, though.
Oh, that's the most interesting. And it's funny because I don't know if that was actually in Ruby and Sapphire, but in Emerald, there's a guy that mentions the fossil one.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's interesting because in Red and Blue we got to resurrect Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. Which I'm sure is where we're headed with that in the game, too. Is that we'll be able to resurrect at least an Emerald, if not Ruby and Sapphire. Anyway, Max wants his friends to visit as well, and so the president sends Kennedy, his assistant, to go get them. Team Rocket disguise themselves in sunglasses and lab coats to sneak into Devon. However, there is already someone in an exact same kind of disguise stealing pieces of a machine. The president is suspicious of this guy because he sees him walk out and follows him with Max because he's never seen him before, and he makes a point of knowing everybody's face that works for him.
Bum, bum, bum.
So he's a good boss. Jenny is suspicious of Team Rocket when they come in and asks to see their IDs. But then an announcement alert goes out that the samples were stolen by someone in a lab coat and sunglasses. So Team Rocket quickly throw off their disguises and try to walk very nonchalantly back out of the building. Like, we weren't even here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they had sunglasses.
It was hilarious, the way they tried to just walk out. But Jenny chases them down. And then our Who's That Pokemon trivia is, if this Pokemon stopped moving, its body would cool and harden. So the President, Max, chased the real thief up to the roof of the building, which is where Ash and Co. are with Kennedy. The thief sends in Crawdaunt. While Ash battles it, Team Rocket arrive with an interesting intro and an outstanding outro.
Oh, prepare for trouble.
And why not make it a Devon double?
Team Rocket blasts off at the speed of light.
Surrender to our strength now or prepare to fight.
That's right.
And while they're doing their outro, they're lifting up this very heavy-looking stone R that when Wobbuffet lands on it, it all crumbles down anyway. Anyway, then Jenny also arrives, adding to the chaos on the roof. The real thief takes the opportunity to use a special rocket device to take off, but Team Rocket jump and grab onto him to get the goods he stole. You know, the goods. He stole the goods. Just like in the game, right? This causes the device to fly back toward the roof as it becomes hard to control. Meowth pulls out the goods and accidentally drops them. Max catches them. Team Rocket falls off just as Pikachu sends in an electric move, and so Team Rocket is blasting off again! Ding! And the real thief zooms off into the city with his sort of out-of-control device, which we later learn crashed and broke into pieces, and he left his disguise behind as he escaped.
Yeah, but then Jesse's like, don't worry, we won't let him... Officer Jenny's like, don't worry, we won't let him escape. We'll get, like, guards set up all around the perimeter. And we're like, so get on that before he escapes.
Yes.
She just stood there talking. She's like, I'll just chat with you guys first.
But she does explain to them that there are two organizations causing trouble in Hoenn. So this is where they learned that, up on top in Devon Corporation, just like Emerald did. And she assumes, since the guy was using a Crawdaunt, that he must have been a member of Team Aqua. And we already met Team Magma in the other, like the Ruins one. After all is said and done, they all go out to eat with the president, and he mentions his son Steven being out on a journey, and he's currently on Dewford Island.
Wow. So new. Fresh.
When May wants to look something up on the Pokenav, the president slides it over to Max under the table, because it's fixed now, and Max is able to hand it over without getting in trouble. Despite the fact that the Pokenav has been Max's all along before. And then under the table, Pikachu actually saw the handoff while he was eating his Pokemon food. And he's just like,
well, I guess...
He was super, like, stunned and just watching it or whatever.
His mouth was just open as he's holding his food.
He's like, oh! And it was hilarious. You have to watch it. It's funny.
Just take a video of me. And then post it.
Yeah, there we go.
I look just like Pikachu.
You do.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Slugma. Our tallies are an interesting intro and an outstanding outro. Team Rocket saves the day with our tallies.
Yeah.
They're gonna be mad they saved the day. Now, it's time to rank it.
Stairway to Devon, eh? It was kind of a fun one. I liked the Aqua stuff and I liked the chaos on top, but I was a little annoyed about this whole thing about the Pokenav. I think I'm going to go with maybe right under All in a Day's Wurmple and right above Low Tad Lowdown. Like, I like those episodes, but I also really like this one. The thing that are holding it back, though, is that some of it was just kind of awkward. Like why was the president running all the time? And, like, why could he go out? And then the whole Pokenav thing was kind of dumb.
I just thought it was kind of funny, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Which is why it's...
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree that it was fun. I just didn't understand it. So that makes Stairway to Devon number 7 out of 17. That's funny. 7 Devon. Because you know that Stairway to Devon is like a playoff of Stairway to Heaven.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, it is.
Well, now that it's ranked, let's go to the next episode. Season 6, episode 18. On a Wingull and a Prayer.
Which is a play off of On a Wing and a Prayer.
Oh, there were 3 exclamation points on the last title.
Oh, yes.
Or Hagi Rojin to Kiamome no Peeko-chan. Or Old Man Hagi and Peeko the Kemomi.
So Hagi must be Briney, and Kamome must be Wingull.
And Peeko is Peeko.
Well, yeah, Peeko-chan, Peeko, yep.
But spelled different.
Yes, because otherwise it would be Peeko.
Peeko.
Ash and Co. are wandering through an abandoned-looking part of town, following directions to a famous restaurant that May had looked up. Her information is a decade out of date. Oops. The port is also not where they expected it to be, and it is pretty far, so they'll just have to wait for the afternoon boat, because there's no way they're going to make it to the earlier one. But May wants to make it right and find a boat around the old port, which is a part of the abandoned area that they're in.
Because everyone was annoyed at her for missing.
Ash specifically was.
Yeah. How rude. It wasn't her fault, exactly.
I mean, it was. She should have looked at the date.
But, I mean, still, like, oh, boo-hoo, you have to wait till the afternoon. Like, are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, Ash is impatient to get the gym done.
Also, that seems like a lot of boats. They're like, there's hardly any ferries that come by here. But I feel like 2 a day. That's not bad.
They also missed some because they were going to go last time, but then there was the whole Max not showing up and then the Devon Corporation stuff. And so, I mean, like, he's already, like, a day behind what he was planning, I think.
You have literally forever.
I mean, that's true. It doesn't age. So yeah, May wants to make it up, and so she's investigating around the old port, which is part of this abandoned part of town. Nobody is even around, but then she meets a lone fisherman on a dock. He talks like a sailor, and I knew right away we were about to get Mr. Briney in the anime.
I knew too.
And he even has a Wingull named Peeko.
See? Important character.
So yeah, loving all the connections, because the last episode also was game connected too, as well as, you know, the gym stuff in the episode previously. So lots of game connections in the anime right now, which is always fun for me.
Yeah. For you, what about me?
I don't know. I can only speak for myself. I don't know if it's fun for you. Maybe you don't care.
I don't know if I care or not.
Well, there you go. So why are you kidding me?
You shouldn't try to make decisions for me.
I wasn't. I was just making decisions for me specifically. Like, I can't. I did suggest that. I even stated, I can't do that for you. Like, that was my whole point. Peeko seems shy, but May gets it to warm up to her with some of Brock's Pokemon food. Which is how they got Shroomish to warm up to them in that other episode. Brock has some good food.
Didn't they have that one thing where they needed... There was this potion to control Pokemon. Oh, Spoopy!
The Spoopy episode,
the Spoopy episode. Okay. But they had the thing that could control Pokemon?
Yeah.
You just need Brock's Pokemon food.
I guess so.
Hey, you want to be friends? Food!
Oh, jeez.
We're besties.
Team Rocket is spying on the interaction and figure May will lead them to the rest of the twerp so they can nab Pikachu. May finds out Mr. Briney has a boat and is willing to take her and the gang to Dewford Island. When Team Rocket realizes May will be bringing the gang back, and so they don't even have to follow her, but then Jessie is fascinated with Wingull and how cute it is, so they plan to steal it.
Both. They want both.
Yes. With the plan in place, we get a catching catchphrase from Meowth as he says, "Prepare for trouble, 'cause catching Wingull makes it double." Sound familiar?
I think that should be a modified motto.
No, because it was just Meowth saying all that.
Exactly. Modified motto.
May leads the gang to Mr. Briney's place, and when they get there, Briney is suddenly angry and harsh, and claims to have never made any such deal to take them to Dewford. But then we see Briney talking to a Team Aqua grunt from last episode, and he has Peeko trapped in a cage, and he wants to use Briney's boat. So again, the Team Aqua grunt who tried to steal the goods and we got it back also kidnapped Peeko, just like in the game.
That's so sad and mean.
Yep. So Briney was just trying to keep the kids safe. And our Who's That Pokemon trivia is, this Pokemon can stand on its strong tail. Do you remember who that is?
Stand on their strong tail? Does Swank exist yet? Sentret?
Sentret, yeah, Sentret.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Jenny of Rustboro arrives, and arguably we have a rockin' reunion.
I don't know if we should count it or not, because they did go to a different town. But at the
They didn't go to a different town. They're still in the same town.
Then why are they like?
It's just an abandoned part of town, an old part of town that nobody uses anymore. But you were the one who brought up that it probably should be a rockin' reunion.
I brought up the thought of it. I don't know if it should.
I argued against it, and you argued for it.
Oh, well, I was trying to argue the point that why it could be one.
Well, and I think I agree with you, because why would they run into they weren't hanging out. They weren't planning on meeting each other. They weren't it wasn't the same as like Todd Snap hanging out with everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it can count.
Cool.
Because it's not like they were at a tournament together where they're in the same area, you know?
Yeah, or that either, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a rockin' reunion.
Like they were planning on leaving, so they were planning on not seeing her again.
Absolutely. Okay, so this Jenny is a rockin' reunion. The question is, does that make the Grunt a rockin' reunion as well?
See, I don't know about that because I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of them.
We'll see more of them, but we'll see more of this specific one.
We could just have, like,
or
quite possibly.
Or does he count as a teaming rocket? Because he's one of the teams out there. That means we'd have to go back and count Magma when we saw them, and the other episode with Aqua. Because they are the new teams of this gen, you know?
Right. And they're the reason Team Rocket's not
And we're
there.
going to have more of that later on. Yeah, they are the reason Team Rocket isn't around, although Team Rocket is still around for us, obviously, but in the anime.
But Team Rocket and, like, them do not like it. Well, some
I
of
know.
the other Team Rocket grunts don't like this Team Rocket.
That's also true. Very, very true. In fact, Team Rocket has worked actively against the other ones before.
I don't know.
I'm leaning towards Teaming Rocket, though, because I think that fits.
Okay.
All right. So I guess we're going to count the Aqua and Magma people as Teaming Rocket. So we'll have to go back and fix those, but it's a Teaming Rocket. I'm liking this. I feel good about this decision.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, Jenny mentions they're not safe in that part of town because the Grunt escaped to that part of town. It is believed that he plans to reunite with the rest of Team Aqua. The gang realize that the Grunt must want to meet up with a boat, and they connect that to Mr. Briney's strange behavior, and so they go to save him. When the gang arrive, a battle is about to take place, but then there's a bunch of smoke, and Team Rocket appears with an interesting intro and an outstanding outro.
Prepare for trouble with a smoky silhouette.
Make it double, 'cause you ain't seen nothing yet.
Team Rocket smogs you out at the speed of light.
Surrender now, or prepare to fight, fight, fight. There was a really weird pause there when he said it that time. So they vacuum up Wingull and Pikachu, but then Lotad water guns them, which was funny because he first just did a little squirt, like, and they laugh at him, and then he totally obliterates them.
That's what he did in the other episode.
When they first met him, yeah. I thought it was hilarious. So he water guns them, and a dropped remote free the Pokemon. Then Crawdaunt bubble beams the balloon and sends Team Rocket blasting off again! Ding! Aqua Grunt escapes with Briney's boat and Peeko, but Briney has a special Wingull-shaped speedboat, and he and the gang give chase. There's a crazy sequence of Briney using his boat to become a ramp for the stolen boat so it doesn't crash into a rock since Peeko's still on it, and Peeko falls out of the boat and is reunited with Briney, but then a giant submarine surfaces and the Grunt escapes onto it. And so the next morning, the gang and Briney set sail for Dewford Island.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Sentret. Tallies, catchphrase, Rockin' Reunion, interesting intro, outstanding outro, and Teaming Rocket. I know, I'm that good.
You are good.
And there was one exclamation point. Anyway, time to rank it. I think either above or below a poached ego. I like that we got Mr. Briney and
Yeah,
Peeko.
sure. I think I vote below. Below.
Do you want it even lower?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
All right, so that makes On a Wingull and a Prayer, number 6 out of 18.
All right, move on to Season 6, Episode 19, Sharpedo Attack. Or Dashutsu Samehara no Shima. Or Escape Samehara's Island.
So the gang is boating on to Dewford Island and should arrive that evening. Team Rocket are once again in their Magikarp sub and have to pedal harder to try and keep up with the Wingull boat. And they're struggling. Max and May want to swim, and despite Ash's desire to hurry up to Dewford, Briney takes them to a spot he knows that is supposedly perfect for swimming. There's a small island with a beach, but something in the water is following them. While Max and May are in the water, they are surrounded by Sharpedo! Peeko lifts them out of the water. However, the Sharpedo and their rough skin ability hurts Max and tears May's new swimsuit.
It hurts her a little and tears both their clothes.
I know she complains about the tears in her swimsuit later.
But I was just saying.
And Max is the one who complains about being in pain. The Sharpedo then start attacking the boat when Briney says they need to get out of there. With an electric shock from Pikachu, Briney and the gang are able to get to the beach where they spend the night. But the Sharpedo are still hanging out in the bay. The gang decide they need to battle the leader Sharpedo, then they should be able to get off the island. If they win, one-on-one. Team Rocket surface a bit away from the island, and they get attacked by the Sharpedo gang. Jessie has Seviper use Poison Tail a couple of times, and the Sharpedo headbutt Team Rocket way into the air, and they see the twerps as they go over the island, and then they're lost in the distance. Ding! And our Who's That Pokemon trivia is, when this balloon-like Pokemon starts to bounce, it may be impossible to stop. And speaking of the poisoning of the Sharpedo and stuff, there's actually a scene in that battle where Sharpedo bites Seviper, or maybe it's later, I don't know. He bites Seviper, but they took it out for our version.
That makes
Too
it
violent.
Even more annoying to me.
I know. All right, so the next morning, Ash taunts the Sharpedo to get them to follow him around the outside of the island. Then the rest of the gang close a gate they rigged up to keep the leader in the bay. Ash barks outside of the island and climbs over some rocks and stuff to reunite with the gang. Brock uses Lotad to battle Sharpedo, but he stops when they notice the Sharpedo is weak because he's been poisoned. Brock takes care of it, and the gang spends another night on the beach. The next day, it seems Sharpedo is thankful to Brock and is hugging him with its, fin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then something rises up out of the water and smashes the barrier the gang created, and a net captures the lead Sharpedo. It's Team Rocket and their Magikarp sub, and they give us an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble or you'll walk the plank.
Make it double or your boat will sink.
That doesn't rhyme.
I thought that was so funny, because that was Jesse's line. That doesn't rhyme. Yeah, for once, James didn't find a rhyme, I guess. I don't know what happened there. It sank would have rhymed. So if you could have done something to say about your boat sank or something.
Your boat sank.
But it did sink or hadn't sunk, so I don't know. So I don't know how he would say it. Just saying.
I love that they put in that
doesn't rhyme. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Especially, I love that he didn't rhyme for once. It was so funny. I love his rhymes and everything. I'm not saying I don't like him, but I just love that.
We wouldn't have liked this so much if he didn't rhyme all the time. If he failed to rhyme most of the time, this would be not funny.
It was just interesting. Yeah. It was funny.
Yep. So then they also managed to get Pikachu, and then everyone finds out that Team Rocket were the ones who poisoned Sharpedo.
And they're like, oh no, how dare you, you're so evil. It's like, really? Really?
Well, again, when you already don't like somebody, anything they do is awful. Remember, we've talked about this.
Yeah, but still, it just seems so stupid.
So Lotad frees Pikachu and Sharpedo, and then Pikachu is going to zap Team Rocket, but it turns out they don't have to. The Sharpedo surround Team Rocket and explode the sub, and they're blasting off again! Ding! All the Sharpedo like the gang now, and so the rough skin doesn't hurt the gang anymore.
At first I was like, does that make sense? They just have rough skin.
But Briney explains that when Pokemon like you, their abilities don't always affect people, and it explains the whole Ponyta thing, too.
Yeah, I still had a little trouble with it, but then you brought up the Ponyta thing, too, and I'm like, okay.
Because she said that specifically in that episode. You know, if they like you, then the flames don't burn.
Yep.
So this fits.
Yeah.
Because if flames cannot burn you, then the rough skin cannot hurt you. Like, that's perfectly acceptable. If in the logic of your Pokemon world.
I just had a problem with it at first, but you brought that up, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it fits. For once, they did something that made sense, even if it didn't sound like it did. And then Briney drops the gang off at Dewford Island at sunset and says, peace out.
Peace. All right. Who's that Pokemon? It's Igglybuff. And our tallies are an interesting intro. That didn't rhyme.
That didn't rhyme, which was interesting.
Now it's time to rank it.
So, I was hoping that, like, Brock was going to get a Sharpedo out of all this, but he didn't, so it was kind of a letdown. Yeah, it was a fine episode. It was enjoyable. Like, I didn't have any, like, I wasn't sad watching it by any means, but it wasn't a top episode. I think it's going to go underneath Gonna Rule the School and above A Bite to Remember.
All right, sounds good.
So then that makes Sharpedo attack number 13 out of 19.
Now moving on to our Pokemon Chronicles episode, our only one for today, Oaknapped, or Pokemon Sosa, Okiro, Hakase, o Sagase, or Pokemon Investigation, Search for Professor Okido.
Okie dokie. We start off with an exciting return of Richie as he visits Professor Oak's lab and is greeted by Tracy. Richie apparently has an Eevee and was wondering how best to evolve it. We don't see this Eevee, though. He just talks about it. So he thought he'd get advice from Oak. But currently, Oak is at a TV station on Seafoam Island. Tracy puts in a video call, but it is DJ Mary that answers and informs them that Oak has vanished without a trace. So the boys show up at the TV station at Seafoam Island like it was just next door to help investigate and find Oak. Apparently, he and Mary were going to do a live show, and they were doing rehearsals and stuff, but that will be difficult without Oak around. After rehearsal, he and Mary were going to get lunch, but then two scientists showed up wanting to show him something rare. He told Mary he'd catch up, but then he never showed.
And when he was going to lunch with Mary, you mentioned how he's cheating on Delia.
the way he's like, oh yeah, you want to try out this food? It's probably not good, but you know, I can have some company. And I know he hangs out with DJ Mary a lot.
Oh no.
The door guards hadn't seen any funny-looking scientists at all, and there was only one way they could have come in. Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like,
is there only one
there's
entrance?
no windows? It's like...
Not windows, other exits.
Yeah, there's no other exit. That's bad for, like, if there's something dangerous. And then someone else mentioned
I think Tracy is like, isn't that a fire hazard?
I was like, yes, exactly.
Although, I don't know if you noticed, because I didn't the first time, because we were talking about it and thought that line was funny, but after that line, they actually explained that there are other back doors, but you have to, like they weren't registered as ever open that day. So there must be keycard entries or something. So there is other exits.
Okay. That's a bit safer.
But yeah, I thought it was really funny too, because I'm like, there's just no one door. Got it. Okay. Yeah, the things you catch when on a second watch through. And then sometimes you guys catch things even on the first watch through, and I watch it like 2 or 3 times and still never see it because I'm typing notes or something. I don't know. So Richie gets an idea that someone could have brought in a package and it had the second person inside of it, and then they disguised themselves as scientists and put Oak in the package and then walked right back out. And of course, Richie is right, as the guard does remember somebody bringing in a stuffed Nidoqueen. Of course, this is a teaming rocket, as it is Butch and Cassidy complete with a Nidoqueen costume again.
like they had in the other one.
Showdown at the Oak Corral.
Yeah!
Which was also involving a lot of Oak and Butch and Cassidy. They pretended to have a mysterious Pokemon egg to draw Oak in, and when he looked close, it opened and sprayed him with some sleep gas or something. And as Oak stumbles back, Butch and Cassidy launch into a modified motto.
Prepare for trouble.
On the double. Here's our mission, so you better listen.
To infect the world with devastation.
To blight all peoples in every nation.
To denounce the goodness of truth and love.
To extend our wrath to the stars above.
Cassidy.
And Butch, of course.
We're Team Rockets day and night.
Surrender to us now, or you'll surely lose the fight. And afterward, Oak gets Butch's name wrong again as he collapses. It's such a funny gag. Then they loaded Oak into the back of a truck and took off. Richie, Tracy, and Jenny learn what the truck looks like and go searching for it. Meanwhile, Butch and Cassidy flash back to getting their mission from Dr. Namba, which is the same doctor that was in that one with Attila and Hun, and before that, the one with that trilogy of episodes with Lugia, where he was trying to accelerate Pokemon power. Wow, for the listeners, though, this is important. Because he has, again, a Pokemon Power Acceleration project he's been secretly working on for years, and just happens to have the initials PPAP? Pen pineapple, apple pen.
I have an apple. Apple pen. I have pen. I have pineapple. Pineapple pen. Apple pen. Pineapple pen.
Pen, pineapple, apple pen.
Pen, pineapple, apple pen.
One of the best songs ever.
Funny video, and I don't know why.
It is. Yeah, the first time I encountered it was that somebody else made a video using a character from an anime, but then I actually think the original one with the guy that sings it is even funnier because he doesn't actually have anything. It's all mimed. And when he throws them all in the air that one time, he catches them all. It's my favorite. It's so dumb. Anyway, apparently Namba has hit a hurdle and wants Oak kidnapped so he can figure out how to proceed. Struggling to find Butch and Cassidy, Richie sends out Rose, his Tailo. So apparently he's managed to get a Hoenn Pokemon as well. And caught the same Pokemon that Ash has caught. Rose is sent to find Team Rocket. Meanwhile, at a warehouse, Team Rocket has Oak tied up, and over a video call, Dr. Namba is going to interrogate the professor about the mysterious viral life form known as Pokerus. He needs it for his project, and all his specimens have died out. And he needs to know where Pokerus grows, but Oak won't talk. So Butch and Cassidy torture Oak. And how do they do that?
With a nail in glass. They're scratching the nail on the glass. Like, get over it.
It's a kid's show, though, so they have to do silly torture. Just like in the old TMNT one where there was feather tickling from the Mafia.
But I mean, like, there are sounds that make me, like, I hate so much. Like, you know those little things that have a rainbow underneath, but it's black on top and you scratch it?
Nope.
You scratch it and you can make shapes and stuff. And, like, you scratch away the black stuff and then you see, like, the rainbowy stuff underneath.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I hate the sound of that scratching. Like, I hate it so much. I can't even right now. But, we were at VBS one year, and I was helping in the crafts room. And that was the craft for the day. Did I die? No! I survived, and I think that Oak can survive too.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely sounds that are like, but, like, for example, your siblings whining. No, I'm just kidding. But no, there are definitely sounds where it's like, like that hurt, or it was really high-pitched, like when I would tickle you when you were younger. And you would scream right in my ear. But there are definitely certain, like, textures or feelings or something that really bug me sometimes. Those are what that can get me.
No, I think it sounds for me more.
Sure.
Like when someone's brushing their teeth with a normal toothbrush and it's scrubbing on their teeth.
Well, you also don't like the sensation of a regular toothbrush on your teeth, so you kind of equate those. Right? Yeah.
I guess.
And that's one of mine, too, is the toothbrush thing. Which is why we like our electric toothbrushes. Speaking of, I think I need to brush my teeth. When I have to kill something, like by stepping on it, like a wounded mouse or a dying chick or something or whatever, the crunching, that I can... I don't know if I literally can feel it or if I just believe I can feel it, but I can feel it, and I don't like that sensation at all.
Well, you are killing something, so...
Yeah, that's part of it, probably. But, like, I am putting them out of their misery or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's not...
Yeah.
I'm not being cruel or something, but yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, enough of that crap. Let's get back on topic. So yes, they're going to torture Oak by scraping a nail against glass. Taylor locates the warehouse and leads Jenny and the boys there. Oak seems like he's going to cave, but he stalls, and long enough for the rescue team to arrive, and they also get Butch's name wrong. Poor Butch.
Not poor Butch.
I mean, poor Botch.
Botch.
I think that's what they say when they arrive, something like that. Bob, I think, is what Oak says earlier.
Botch is definitely something that has been said.
Oh, yeah, that one's been used a lot. We find out Cassidy now has a Sableye, and Butch has a Mightyena, so they also have gotten some Hoenn Pokemon. A battle takes place while Team Rocket try to escape with Oak.
The glass is broken by this point. I think it was broken when they got in there.
Taylor flew in and smashed it. Eventually, Sparky finishes Team Rocket with Thunder and sends Team Rocket blasting off again! Ding! Now that they're with Oak, I was kind of curious, like everybody's reunited, so like Richie's there and everything, if we have a Rockin' reunion here. Or more than one. So, Mary and Oak have met before, obviously, but they also do a show together regularly, so, like, when we're with Ash and Co., we don't consider it a Rockin' reunion if Oak is with Delia, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, they're always together. So I don't know if that counts, but it could, so I brought it up. I'm definitely leaning towards no, but I'm open for any discussion you might have on that. But the other one is Oak. I can't remember for sure if he actually physically met with Richie during the tournament, but he definitely knows Richie. Was he in the elevator with them when that happened? When they first met Richie? I think he might have been. So anyway, Oak and Richie have at least closely encountered, if not officially met before, so that could also be possibly a Rockin' reunion. The only thing is when we do Rockin' reunions, it's usually for main characters or for main character Pokemon when we have those Pokemon-focused episodes, you know, that are meeting with people. So, like, if Richie met with Ash or Misty or Brock, we'd count it. Or even if Brock came back after a long hiatus, like he's done a couple times, that's also something we count. So I don't know if any of these count, but I just wanted to bring that up as possibilities.
I think probably not.
Okay. It's kind of where I was leaning, but again, I just wanted to have that discussion, because we almost considered a Rockin' reunion when somebody else showed up at Oak's lab. Who was that? I think it was the other Butch and Cassidy one, maybe even. I don't know. Maybe not. That was just Delia. Oh, the Magikarp salesman. He was in that episode. But again, he never really encountered them before, so we easily dismissed it. And if Tracy had met him before, we would count it because Tracy was a main character before. So, like, if Tracy had met Richie before, we'd count that too. But they've never met because he wasn't part of the group during the Indigo League.
Yeah.
Okay. So no Rockin' reunions this time because none of them that are the main characters, which is Richie basically, or not meet Richie, Tracy, they've never met any of these characters that we've seen in the episodes. I mean, I'm sure he's met Mary before. At least on video calls. Let's see. Okay, so no Rockin' reunions. So with Oak rescued, the TV program is able to go on. Afterward, Richie asks to get help from Oak with his Eevee. And Oak's like, actually, I could really use some help upping the security around my place and stuff. So, yeah, if you could help with that, I can help you. You can spend a while there if you want. So Richie plans to spend that time at the ranch. And then the boys go on some quiz show, while Oak wonders about the mysterious life form Pokerus, which suggests that he didn't even necessarily know what it was before or only heard of it, so he wouldn't have even been able to give them the information they were looking for.
Yeah.
And according to some research that I did, I think this is the first and only time so far in the entire anime that Pokerus is ever mentioned. Oh. So it's not even the startup of some interesting storyline for Oak. It's just a one-off.
Okay. Our tallies are Teaming Rocket with 3 or just 1 since we said teaming.
I think we just call it 1 every time that there's a bunch of Rocket around.
Okay. A modified motto. Oh, Teaming Rocket and modified motto.
because we don't have any Rockin' Reunion.
Now, Season 6, Episode 20, Brave the Wave, or... Oh, wait. At the end of the Pokemon Chronicles episode, we're going to say there were 3 exclamation points.
I'm good with it.
There was some questionableness, but it was 3. Anyway, now, Season 6, Episode 20, Brave the Wave, or... Murojimo Naminori di Jimu Rida.
Read. Remember the dash elongates things.
Rida Toki Tojo. Or Murojim, the surfing leader. Doki appears. Look, it's so long and they can only do 2.
That one is kind of disappointing, I have to admit. And you already spoiled it.
I just expected you to cut these parts out.
I don't. Ash is ready to take on the Dewford Gym, or Murojimu, bright and early the next day. When they arrive at the gym, a crowd of surfers burst out of the door, and Brock is in love with all the surfer girls that show up. Brawly, the gym leader, is one of the surfers, and he's totally like a radical surfer dude. Like, he talks very surfer-esque.
Yeah.
He can't do the gym battle right then because there are some waves he and the other surfers want to catch. Ash is not thrilled about this.
Also, all those girls just, like, piled out of the gym in their, like, bikinis and stuff.
Yeah, because they're going to go surfing. And it wasn't just girls. There were guys, too. Not just Brawly.
They were all in the gym together.
Yeah. They're probably getting changed or something. I don't know.
Yeah. A little bit.
They probably have changing rooms. It's a gym.
Then why were they all in there and not other places?
Maybe he was... Maybe they showed up that way because maybe he does instructions, too. Because you learn how to do some surfing stuff on land before you actually go out in the water.
Yeah. They learned surfing stuff.
Oh, my gosh. You're taking after your mother. Anyway.
Well, there were like 20 girls and maybe like 10 guys.
Yeah, well.
They were on.
This was shortly after Soul Surfer came out or something. I don't know. So a lot of girls wanted to become surfers. They were inspired.
I would be de-inspired.
or maybe it was like what Blue Crush. I think that's a surfer chick movie. So maybe that came out. They were inspired by that one then.
Maybe.
Anyway, at the beach, some surfers walk into a restaurant to get some food, and the servers offer up a modified motto.
Prepare for trouble. You want fries with that?
Double delish with half the fat.
To protect the world from unhealthy food.
To give great service and never be rude.
To denounce the evils of high carbohydrates.
To extend our reach to the earth and its primates.
Jesse.
James.
Team Rocket gives great service at the speed of light.
Pay your bill and leave a tip or prepare to fight. After serving some customers, Team Rocket spot the twerps and get back to trying to catch Pikachu. At the beach, Brock is still super fascinated with all the surfer girls, and May shows off yet another swimsuit she purchased. Brawly is surfing with his Makuhita, and Ash is persistent with Brawly, trying to get a battle, but then Pikachu is netted by Team Rocket, and, of course, it is electric-proof. Brawly asks who they are, and Team Rocket starts again with an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble, all you dudes and dudettes.
Make it double, you... Enough! We already got that part out! And that's right, they're cut short by Meowth delivering an irritating interruption. Team Rocket rocket off on their speedboat, and so Brawly sends in his surfing Makuhita, who is like doing that paddle that you do when you're getting out to the waves, but his arms go so fast that it's almost like like super high-speed propellers or whatever, so he's just zooming along. And it saves Pikachu, who then delivers a Thunderbolt, which sends Team Rocket surfing the wind, saying, "Hey, hey, we're blasting off!" Ding! And I don't know if this is off again or not, because they did say it differently than they normally do.
I guess.
Okay. So we'll count it. It's kind of a lame one, but we'll count it. But yeah, they still had like pieces of their boat attached to them, so like they were like surfing the wind with those or whatever.
Oh.
Then we have our Who's That Pokemon trivia. this Pokemon nests at the edge of very sharp and high cliffs. After all that, Brawly agrees to a gym battle, and Ash is ready to use Tailo to win easily, just like Ruby. The match is again 2 versus 2, and only the challenger is allowed to swap Pokemon. So it is Tailo versus Machop. However, the gang suspect a lot of power being thrown at them because Brawly runs a fighting gym, and that's what fighting gym trainers do with their fighting types. But apparently Brawly has a more flexible style. Machop keeps soaking the hits and eventually takes Tailo out. So Ash sends in Trico, who is able to take out a worn-out Machop. Brawly sends in Makuhita after that, and it's a tough battle, and Trico is getting worn out, but he won't give up. And he could have possibly even won until we get an evolution, and Makuhita becomes Hariyama. Trico is defeated and must be taken to the Pokemon Center. Ash is super cranky that he was so close and lost to someone who would rather surf than train. He rushes out of the Pokemon Center, and then he sees Brawly surfing with Hariyama and learns that Brawly is training when he's surfing with his Pokemon. Ash learns this lesson for now, and I say for now because you know Ash is going to forget his lessons all the time. Yeah. And he apologizes to Brawly and his companions. And Brawly suggests Ash play in the nature of the island to train his Pokemon. And I thought it was actually really kind of nice that the gym that Ash is struggling with is also the one that I was struggling with because I couldn't win, and I also have a Trico.
Y'all just suck.
I did not have a Tailo to listen to me, though. Otherwise, it would have been easy.
You should catch a Tailo yourself.
It's done now.
You can have mine when I get my Eevee team.
Sounds good.
Oh, right. Who's that Pokemon? It's Delibird. Our tellies are Modified Motto, Interesting Intro, Irritating Interruption, Off Again, and Evolution. Now we rank this one. Alright, it's my turn to rank it. Brave the Wave. What about underneath a Sharpedo attack and above a Bite to Remember?
Alright, above or below Sharpedo attack?
Yeah, what do you think?
Let's see. Well, Brave the Wave. Yeah, I think that's a good place for it.
Okay. Well, that's where it's going.
All right, that makes Brave the Wave our number 14 out of 20.
Now we move on to Season 6, Episode 20. Wait. There were unfortunately only 2 exclamation points on the last episode, which was really stupid because it was really a long title. Now, Season 6, Episode 21. Which Wurmple's which? Or Kemuso Tai Kemuso Dochi ga Dochi? Or Kemuso versus Kemuso. Which is which?
What's Kemuso? Just kidding. Anyway.
Gee, I wonder.
After a recap of last episode, we find the gang looking for Ash, who is sleeping outside Trico's recovery room, and it turns out that Trico is just fine. Once Ash has his Pokemon back, they get breakfast and then decide to head out to train. But Max learned that Steven, President Stone's son, is on the island looking for special stones in Granite Cave. So they are headed to that cave, but they meet an old man, it's actually James, who says the island is a great place for fishing, and he offers them his fishing rods. So the gang decide to fish. And in the game, this is where we also get our first rods as well, so that was kind of fun.
And then they legitimately start, like, fishing and trying to catch Pokemon, and it's kind of just interesting.
It is interesting. Especially since they actually go fishing here. I haven't watched the episode yet, but I know in a couple of, like, the next episode we have to watch is, like, gone Corphishing. Like, gone fishing. Yeah, so May catches an Octillery on her line, and she tries to battle it to catch it, but instead Wurmple's string shot hits Max with some friendly fire. Octillery gets away, and then Ash catches a Corphish, who also gets away. Meanwhile, Team Rocket is in their Magikarp sub and are annoyed that the gang are actually catching a lot of Pokemon. They're like, what the heck? Then James is like, I don't know, I just put them in a spot. It's not my fault that there was Pokemon there to catch. But it doesn't matter, because the goal is for the line to get caught by their Magikarp sub, because James reinforced all the rods so they wouldn't break when the Magikarp sub pulls them.
Oh.
And it's supposed to pull them into the water, and then when their Pokeballs float up, Team Rocket will take the Pokeballs. That's the plan. However, it doesn't work out because it's a Team Rocket plan. Even if their plan would actually make a lot more sense and work better than what actually happens. Because when May's line gets caught and starts getting dragged, they all group together and pull back together and are fighting the sub. And there's no way that they would be able to outpower the sub and it's pedaling in the water. But instead, the pedals on the Magikarp sub break, and so the Magikarp pops out of the water and surfaces, and we get an interesting intro.
So prepare for trouble with a capital letter.
You can make that double, 'cause what I say is what's bigger is always better. Another electric-proof net nabs Pikachu, but Trico frees him. Then May and Jessie have an argument on which Wurmple is cuter. The two Pokemon get into a fight of string shots, and James tries to throw a net again. Trico stops it with an awesome toothpick twig strike, like he shoots his twig out to James's hand and knocks the net right out of his hand. It was really cool. And Meowth tries to get in there, but Trico knocks him into the Wurmple, which causes the Wurmple to fly around. So then Jessie grabs Wurmple and Meowth, and they rush off to their sub. Then Pikachu zaps them, sending Team Rocket off again as they are shipping out again. Ding! Our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon can predict its enemy's next move by reading air currents. May immediately senses something wrong when she grabs her Wurmple, and it's proven not to be hers when they set food in front of it, and it doesn't devour all of it at once. Back over with Team Rocket, they try to have a treat, and the Wurmple eats all of the cookies, or whatever they're having, and takes a nap, proving it is May's Wurmple.
But they don't think that. Well, Jessie doesn't think that.
Meowth and James realize it right away, that it's probably not Jessie's, but she won't hear it. Mm-hmm. The gang find Team Rocket, and they decide to trade the Wurmples back, only Jessie just grabs them both and runs off. Team Rocket escape in their balloon, where Meowth delivers a boss fantasy about delivering a Wurmple to... It's about being able to spread out silk for new buttons to sew them back on if they came off of his shirt or whatever. It's ridiculous. Tailo cuts a hole in the balloon, causing Team Rocket to crash back down, and May gets her Wurmple back. A battle takes place, and Cacnea comes out and hugs James as a distracted Pokemon. Then a Pikachu Thunderbolt sends Team Rocket blasting off again! Ding! And that's that.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Espeon! Our tallies are Friendly Fire, Interesting Intro, Off Again, Boss Fantasy, and Distracted Pokemon. And we had 2 exclamation points and a question mark.
Alright, my turn to rank it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I enjoyed the fact that we had them actually using the fishing rods, and that they got the fishing rods here, even though it was from Team Rocket. They still got rods here. Although these might have been super rods as opposed to the old rod, but, you know. I enjoyed the Wurmple switcheroo, even though you and I, predicted it pretty much ever since they got them.
Yeah, and then we knew it was going to happen that episode when they had them both out and were arguing over the cuteness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was also called Which Wurmple's Which, so I mean, even the title's this is the episode we knew was coming. I mean, it was still fun, but, let's see, where do I think I want this? Probably right underneath In the Nicker of Time.
Ooh.
Is that okay with you?
Yep, I ranked it before I heard what you said, and I was like, I think right above In the Nicker of Time.
Oh, so close.
Close, but we weren't quite on the same page.
No.
Exactly 100%.
There's something about the Knickerbocker guy that is so ridiculous that he just stays up there because it was amusing. Alright, so that makes Which Wurmple's Which number 12 out of 21.
Okay, now we can move on to Season 6, Episode 22. A Whole Lot of Trouble. Oh, whole, because it's a hole, and not actually like WHO.
Correct.
Or Daigo Kokodora, Bosurogora, or Daigo Kakadora and Boskadora.
So, I'm betting that Bosugadora or Boscadora is probably Agron, with Cocadora or Cacadora as Aron, as they pronounced it. Aaron, Aaron, Aron. Which means I don't know what Daigo is. Ash and Co. reach Granite Cave and decide to find Steven. Team Rocket is inside the cave digging another pit trap. The gang are shouting out for Steven, who happens to be digging around with his... how do we want to go about this? The show called it Aron. I've never heard it said before besides us, and we like to say Aaron.
Aaron, Aron. Hey, Aaron!
What would you like me to say?
No.
Because otherwise you're going to be like, it's not Aron, it's Aaron.
It's not Aron, it's Aaron.
Exactly. All right, I'm going to go with the anime for now.
Okay.
So he's digging around with his Aron. The gang fall into the hole, and while Team Rocket gloats at the edge of it, the hole widens on its own, bringing Team Rocket down too, and then the bottom also gives out, sending them all falling and getting split into 3 groups due to branching tunnels. The noise alerted Steven and Aron. Max is with Pikachu and Meowth, and they wander down a tunnel to figure out how to get back up since the hole they fell out of is too high for them to reach. May finds herself with Jessie, who decides to try and climb back up through the hole. Meanwhile, Ash, James, and Brock are together, and Brock has to break up a fight between the other two. And they're all trapped in the rubble they fell through.
And something interesting is, at the beginning when they were digging the hole, James is like, why don't we just fight him? And then, like, when they fell down, Ash was like, this is your fault. And James is like, well, it's actually Jessie's fault. I just wanted to fight you fair and square. And they're like, we'll fight you now. And then they're like,
yeah. And James's frustration over that does cause some more problems later.
But it's interesting.
It is interesting. They all start complaining about the rest of Team Rocket. All 3 of them do. Yeah. I mean, Jessie's always complaining about the other 2, even to their faces, so whatever. But with Max's group, Pikachu and Meowth smell fresh air, and so they follow their noses. Ash's group, James gets fired up about not getting a say with Team Rocket and shouts enough that he alerts a swarm of Aron who start to chase them. Meanwhile, Steven finds the hole everyone fell through and can tell something is going on down there, and so he jumps in with his Aron. Ash's gang finds a high tunnel that they can clamber into to let the Aron swarm rush by underneath. Max's group finds a waterfall and a route they can climb up to a higher level. Back to May, we find Jessie got stuck in her hole, and May tries to help her. Then a Loudred shows up and stomps on Jessie, sending her back down as the hole widens. Oh, I wonder if Daigo is Loudred. It's the only other Pokemon I can think of that shows up. I mean, maybe it's not even a Pokemon, I don't know, but...
Maybe it's Steven.
Oh!
Steven.
It could be Steven. That actually could be. That could be. So yeah, Loudred stomps Jessie and the hole widens, so now the 2 can climb up. Steven notices that the Aron in the cave besides his are awake, and they must be running around. Max's group climbs up to the upper level, and Max gets part of the tale of how Meowth learned to talk.
Yeah, he asked him how he could talk, and then I was going to see if the story matched up as he had said before. And
yeah, we do get some flashbacks of that episode.
Yeah, it was starting to, and then Max just climbed away.
Yeah, and then Meowth's like, when you ask a question, you need to stay for the answer. He's like, your story was too long. And your mom thought that was so funny, the way he said that. Because we've run into that with you children. So not necessarily you specifically, or at least not at this age, but we have definitely run into that with some of the little children where they just go on and on. It's like, I was looking for a simple answer. Okay. I don't got time for this. All right. Steven also returns to the hole and sees it has gotten bigger. And our Who's That Pokemon trivia, this Pokemon can destroy anything in its path by spinning both arms. May and Jessie almost make it out, but they run past the hole that gets even bigger, and they fall in again. Ash and Co. are back to being chased by Aron, and then May and Jessie land on top of them. Max's group actually manages to run into Steven, and so Steven is going to help find the rest, where they find a gap, and below it they find the rest of the group running away from the Aron. Steven gives the group below directions to the waterfall. At the waterfall, everyone meets up, and Steven uses his Aron to stop the rest of them with a roar. Team Rocket decide to recite the motto to celebrate their reunion with an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble when you're lost in a cave.
Make it double if it's us you save. A battle starts up, and Steven is informed that they're to blame for the whole, so Steven is going to battle with his Aggron. Also, when James sent out Cacnea for this battle, we got another distracted Pokemon hug. All Aggron has to do is use Hyper Beam, and it sends Team Rocket blasting off again!
Ding!
Ding! And in the rubble from the hole that they created as they blasted out of the cave, Aron finds a Firestone. And with that, Steven's happy because that was the stone he was apparently looking for, so he says goodbye to the gang as he sets sail on his little sailboat to go to other places to look for more stones.
Yeah.
Because he likes to get stoned. Just kidding.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Vigoroth. Our tallies are an interesting intro and a distracted Pokemon. There was only one exclamation point. It was quite disappointing.
Very sad.
Alright. Maybe right above the winner by a nose pass and right below the Lotad lowdown.
Oh, good. You did go a little higher. Yeah, I'll take that. Because I really like that they just kept going in circles, basically, in that whole place.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. Did you want it higher than that?
No, it's probably good. It's
Okay.
probably good. So, all right. So that makes a whole lot of trouble. Number 10 out of 22. So what we're adding to our tallies this week, we get one more Boss Fantasy, putting us at 3. A Catching Catchphrase, putting us at 8. 2 more Distracted Pokemon, putting us at 6. An Evolution, putting us at 2. Another Friendly Fire, putting us at 11 already for Friendly Fire. That's kind of a lot. 6 more interesting intros, putting us at 23 interesting intros out of 22 episodes of the anime. Granted, I think some of that came from Chronicles. So we did more than 22 episodes of anime because we've done Chronicles. But still, we have more interesting intros than we do for the season episodes.
Oh.
We have one more irritating interruption, putting us at 2. We have 2 more modified mottos, putting us at 3. We gained 2 off-agains, putting us at 4. 2 more outstanding outros, putting us at 9. And 3 more Teaming Rocket, putting us at a total of 5 for Teaming Rocket already. And I did go back. I don't remember if I talked about these or not, or what the update was. But currently we are at 2 Team Rocket Timbers, which is when they have a branch or whatever that breaks. And we have 5 trainer trainings so far. I don't know if I covered all the... Because I remember how I had it far back. I had to update all that stuff. But that's all up to date now.
Now we catch a Pokemon.
Okay, so we did On a Wingull and a Prayer, which had Peeko. Kind of featured in that one. Stairway to Devon was just them running around the Devon Corporation. I don't even know which Pokemon really... I guess Corphish or whatever. Crawdaunt or whatever. Did some stuff for the bad guys. A whole lot of trouble. We just covered that. That had a bunch of Aron. Which Wurmple's Witch had, the Wurmples plus the other fish that they caught. Sharpedo Attack. Sharpedos. Brave the Wave was the Makuhita to Hariyama and also had a Machop in it. And then...
you could say Trico was featured.
Yes, Trico did some stuff there. And we also had the Oaknapped episode. And most of these Pikachu also, even if it wasn't Pikachu, it was Sparky. Zapped people to send them blasting off. I think I know which one I'm going with. Do you? Okay. 3, 2, 1, Tailo.
Peeko!
Oh, the Wingull?
Yeah.
Alright. So Wingull for Ruby and Tailo. Because it was used to find things a couple of times. And also hit the balloon.
And now it's time for Pokemon cards. Today we're both opening Mega Evolution with Lucario on the front.
Mega Lucario.
Mega Lucario. It's me, Lucario.
All right. I'm starting off with Mantine, the water Pokemon. As it majestically swims, it doesn't care if Remoraid attached to it to scavenger for its leftovers. See, it even has one under its wing again. Miltank, colorless. This Pokemon needs to be milked every day or else it will fall ill. The flavor of Miltank milk changes with the seasons. Shroodle, dark type. Though usually a mellow Pokemon, it will sink its sharp, poison-soaked front teeth into any that anger it, causing paralysis in the object of its ire. Heliolisk evolves from Helioptile, electric type. One Heliolisk basking in the sun with its frill outspread is all it would take to produce enough electricity to power a city. It's like a solar panel. Kadabra evolves from Abra, psychic. Ability, Psychic Draw. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. Draw 2 cards. This Pokemon's telekinesis is immensely powerful. To prepare for evolution, Kadabra stores up psychic energy in the star on its forehead. Frostmoth evolves from Snom, water type. Frostmoth senses air currents with its antenna. It sends its scales drifting on frigid air, making them fall like snow. Supporter Trainer card, Lieutenant Surge's Bargain. I recognize this one. First Reverse Hollow, Gimmighoul, Psychic. This Pokemon was born inside a treasure chest about 1,500 years ago. It sucks the life force out of scoundrels who try to steal the treasure. My second Reverse Hollow is Sobble, water type. It gets berries to eat by shooting them down with bullets of water it spurts from its mouth. Its aim is perfect. I finally got a Mega.
Yay!
Mega Kangaskhan EX.
Kangaskhan.
Ability, Run Errand. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may use this ability. Draw 2 cards. You can't use more than one Run Errand ability each turn. And then a basic electric energy card.
First one is Thievul, evolves from Nickit, dark. With a little body and sharp claws, it goes around stealing food and eggs. Boltund is its natural enemy. Yungoos, colorless. Its stomach fills most of its torso. It wanders the same path every day searching for fresh food. Tangela, grass. Hidden beneath a tangle of vines that grows non-stop, even if the vines are torn off, this Pokemon's true appearance remains a mystery. Clauncher, water. This Pokemon launches water by detaining gas inside its right claw. It snipes flying Pokemon. Executor evolves from Execute, grass.
You probably want a Clauncher to shoot down Spearow.
Mm-hmm. It is called the Walking Jungle. Each of the nuts has a face and a will of its own. Ooh. Latios, dragon. Ability. It's water and psychic dragon. Ability. Lustrous Assist. Once during your turn, when your Mega Latios EX moves from your bench to the active spot, you may use this ability. Move any amount of energy from your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. It understands human speech and is highly intelligent. It is a tender Pokemon that dislikes fighting. Trainer item, Repel. Switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Your opponent chooses the new active Pokemon. Reverse Hollow. Centiskorch evolves from Sizzlepede. Fire. While its burning body is already dangerous on its own, this excessively hostile Pokemon also has large and very sharp fangs. I think this is technically my only second Reverse Hollow, but it's rare. And it's Clawitzer, water, evolves from Clauncher.
Yep.
Ability, fall back to reload. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from the active spot to your bench, you may use this ability. Attach up to 2 basic water energy cards from your hand to this Pokemon. It's like extended art. Clawitzer can move through the water at a speed of 60 knots by using gas inside its body to expel water from the back of its claws.
Oh, this is cool. I like the art on here. It's like alternate art.
Now my rare, well, that one was also rare, but my other rare is Hariyama, evolves from Makushita.
Oh, that's perfect.
Fighting. Ability, Heave Ho Catcher. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability to switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. It loves challenging others to tests of strength. It has the power to stop a train with a slap. And a fighting energy card.
Can stop a train with a slap. That's impressive.
Okay, well that concludes our episode for today. Routes Through Pokemon is a Hunterfield Institute production. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and other podcasting platforms. We're also on YouTube at the Hunterfield Institute channel. Just look for the Routes Through Pokemon playlist. And wherever you find us, like, subscribe, rate, and review. And leave comments so I can read through them and judge you. We also have a Facebook group, Routes Through Pokemon, where we post episode rankings, latest tally counts.
And
like,
all that.
All the stuff we say. So, just go read it. And then he's on Instagram at kinetic_card and Twitter/X at HunterfieldIns. You can also email us at hunterfieldmanor@gmail.com. Next week will be a rerouted episode with Sherlock, Rosella, and Bye-Bye. And they're going to head to the second gym in Kanto. So thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next route.
Bye-bye. Sayonara. Part 65. Sent away firmly forces reunion outside next. "I'm sorry," the guard said in a hoarse voice, "but no one is allowed to enter the city right now." The poor man's voice was getting worse, and he was rubbing his throat. Murasaki was too frustrated to notice, however.
"That doesn't make any sense. Why would the city be blocked off?"
As he continued his protests and arguments, Beck pondered the strange way the guard sounded. She looked around for what seemed an obvious solution to his discomfort: some water. Sure enough, in the corner was a water cooler. Unfortunately, it was empty. "I've already told you," the guard forced out. "Saffron is closed."
"But a city can't be closed, especially a city with a gym in it. I'm a trainer, for crying out."
Muda!
Murasaki whipped around to glare at Beck.
"How many times do I have to tell you?"
How many times does he have to tell you?
Beck fired back.
The city is closed.
"But it can't be closed."
Apparently it can be.
Murasaki opened his mouth to argue again, but Beck intensified her gaze and gave the slightest shake of her head. Then she pointed toward the door that would take them back out to Route 8. The boy clenched his jaw and, full of attitude, gestured toward the door for Beck to go first. She stood her ground and pointed again at the door, silently declaring that he would need to go first. Throwing up his arms, Murasaki stormed out the door. Beck offered the guard an apologetic smile, and then she left the same way as Murasaki.
"What was that about?"
Murasaki exploded as soon as Beck appeared outside.
"He can't just keep us out of there."
Yes, he can, kid.
"Stop calling me kid!"
Stop acting like one.
"I'm not acting like
Why
a kid."
do you think there are guards in the first place? Obviously, there are times when they need to keep access restricted.
They're just supposed to keep track of who's coming and going.
That is part of it, sure.
"Well, why is it closed off today?"
Beck shrugged.
I would have loved to find out, but I couldn't get a word in with all your shouting.
"Right. Sorry. Let's go back and ask."
Ha! You think he'll be willing to talk now?
Beck shook her head.
No. We'll need to check one of the other entrances instead. Maybe one of them will be more cooperative.
"Right. Okay. Good idea. Sorry for losing my cool in there."
Beck waved off the apology.
It's fine. We'll just use the underground tunnel and check the Celadon city side.
Could we maybe aim for a different entrance?
You have a problem with Celadon?
Murasaki looked down at his feet.
It's not Celadon itself. I just started my journey from there by annoying Erica, the gym leader, and I already had to go back once to heal up Stunner, and I think I annoyed the lady at the Pokemon Center. There were also these guys that didn't look like they were, the law-abiding type.
And you upset them too?
Murasaki shrugged.
Maybe.
Is there anyone you haven't upset?
The boy only offered a sheepish grin. Beck sighed.
Okay, that's not ideal, but I know another way. It'll just take a bit longer.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, come on.
The two traveling companions started off down the route back to Lavender Town, as the other options to Saffron involved some backtracking. But Murasaki didn't care, since he wouldn't have to face those he knew when he hadn't even caught any new Pokemon yet. All he had was his Oddish that Erica gave him as his starting partner. He also didn't want to face any of those he'd made enemies with, or those who were his enemies already. Oh, hi, Mura. Good to see you again. But as it turned out, his enemies seemed to have a way of finding him. There were 3 boys, and Murasaki knew them all too well. In fact, they were the same that forced him into a fight in the underground tunnel when he had gone through to get to Lavender Town. I thought I told you not to come around here anymore. Looks like I didn't teach you a good enough lesson last time, said Zeke, the leader of the group.
Well, it was pretty close.
Shut up, Eric.
Right. Sorry.
You know these geeks, Mura?
Would everybody please stop calling me Mura?
Looks like the wimp's got himself a girlfriend, the third boy in the group teased.
Yeah, no. I ain't nobody's girlfriend, drowsy.
Everyone looked at Beck, taken aback by the nickname she came up with. They couldn't be sure if it was an insult.
Just look at him. His nose, the way it droops. Ugh, never mind. Who are these bozos? Wait, let me guess. More people you've annoyed?
The 3 boys were struggling to keep up with Beck's topics after taking too long to decipher her insult. I don't like being ignored, Zeke said.
Too bad,
Beck interrupted.
Maybe if you had something interesting to say, people might listen.
All right, that's it. Zeke pulled out a Pokeball. Let's get them, boys. Beck grinned.
Bring it on.
To be continued.